Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. And in whatever state you find yourself, know one thing, that beneath it all is well. Whatever state you're in, however you're feeling, whatever your internal dialogue is saying to you, whatever you think's going on, at the depth of you, all is well. All is calm. All is peace. All is clarity at the very depth of you. And that isn't going to change. There is no weather condition that can change the sky. Is there? Is there any weather condition possible, like a super mega maga tsunami? Does that change the sky? Does the sky ever get changed by the weather? The sky is not blue. That's all content, isn't it? The weather is the content of the sky. The stars, the galaxies, the universes, they're all content in the space of the sky. And nothing ever changes that sky. So what does that equate to in you? Yes, you might have long storms. Apparently there are storms on Jupiter that go on for an immeasurable amount of time. Really long old storms. But where are they happening? They're happening in your awareness. Very demanding of your attention, very convincing of their reality, but still weather. And you, who you truly are, who you've always been, who you always will be, unassociated from all that happens, is that unchanging awareness. Now, what's the upside of having a lot of bad weather? What's the upside? We know what the downside is, but what's the upside? The upside is that maybe you get a glimpse of this truth that I'm talking of. Maybe you are able to distinguish the weather from the sky that it takes place in. Maybe you are able to distinguish your mental states from the awareness within which they unfold. Who you truly are is beneath your psychological weather. This is what I know. This is what you can know. It's just a seeing, and you never know when that seeing is going to come. Now, the weather condition, the storm, that long old storm, that may stay, but your relationship to it, who your being that it is, that will inevitably change. It has to, because everything does. And you could get to the place where you see it as weather from your position as the sky. You see it as unchanging from the position of unchanging awareness. You witness this stormy old mental state. You're not your mental states. That's not who you are. It seems like you are, because they're very loud and demanding. But it's actually not who you are. That's something that's happening to you. That's something that's happening to you, isn't it? There was a point before the storm came and something else was happening to you. Your thoughts, they happen, they just appear. Your mental states, they just appear. You're the witness of them. You can step back and watch. When you step back and watch, guess what? What you were subject to can turn into an object that has features. And as soon as it becomes an object, you're pulling away from it. It'll run its course, but you can also pull away from it by turning it into an object. Once you've turned it into an object, you will see things about it that you couldn't see when you were subject of it. And also, by turning it into an object, that will push you back into the place where all is well. All is well for no reason. It's not a circumstantially driven feeling. This all is well in your heart, that's the feeling that comes from being alive. Whatever's going on the other levels, all is well. So, let's have a look and see. I'm here, I'm Timian, and I'm here to make comment and answer questions. Okay, that was for number 26. Nice to see you there. Hang in there. Looking forward to today's wisdom, says Jinx. Okay, perfection, says 26. Great. Jesus Christ is the only way into heaven, says Strider 777. How do you know? Are you telling me, Strider, that no one got into heaven before Jesus? That's nonsense. There are greater descriptions of heaven in other cultures, in other religions, than there are in the Christian religion. And if you read those descriptions, it's clear that the people who are writing them have been there in very great detail. So the only way to a Christian heaven is through Jesus, okay. But not only a way to heaven, that's a place within you now. Jesus said, seek you first the kingdom of heaven, which is within you. It's within you. It's within you now while you're alive. Have you seen it? It's not a belief. Oh, I believe one day, someday I'll go to heaven. Good for you. I hope that makes you feel better. Because it won't do much more than that. But there is a heaven within you. Jesus talked of it. Seek you first the kingdom of heaven, he said. And we've been searching all other things. He didn't say when you feel like it, have a look for the kingdom of heaven. He said, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. Never mind your praying, never mind your church services, never mind your Bible reading. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all else will be added unto you. And how many Christians do that? Virtually none. They still believe in the false doctrine of Paul, which is that it's going to happen someday, one day, when you leave your body. When you leave your body, you'll be dead. And what Jesus the Christ was saying, you can be in heaven now. And this is what we're talking about here, how to do that. And he also, on a Christian perspective, he also gave instructions. He said, let thine eye be single, and thy whole body shall be full of light. I am that light. Christ is not here. Jesus is not here in a body anymore, is he? But he is here as light. And you can be one with that light. You can feel that light, see that light within you. This is the promise. And what did he say? Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened unto you. Ask and you will get the answer. But if you just settle for the first thing that comes along, what your parents believed, what their parents believed, what their parents' parents believed, you're not going to get any more than they got, which wasn't very much. There's more to Christianity than people today are experiencing. Much more. There's a whole other level. The transition from belief into direct experience. And like it says in the Bible. And then the knowledge of God, the knowledge of God will cover the earth as the waters cover the sea. That's what I'm talking about. 26. All is well and calm at the depth of me. I'm flying too far above that place. Yeah, that's okay. That's fine. But it's still there, is my point. And it's not going to leave. You might not be in touch with it, but it is there. Trust me. And when you fall, if you're flying high, you're going to go up, you're going to come down. When you come down, that's what you'll come into. And any moment or any altitude can have immediate access to the sky, to the awareness, to the place where all is well. No dimension is further away from it than another. It's not in going high that you get nearer to it, or going low that you become nearer to it. It's everywhere equally present. It's a seeing. Accept the possibility, that's all. Just accept that what I'm saying might be possible. That's all. Open a crack, just a little bit, to a new possibility. And in the meantime, see if you can't enjoy flying high. See if you can't pick up some insights while you're up there. People do. There are rivers in the sky, 26. Yeah, there are. And tunnels too. Extraordinary. The darker the storm, the brighter the rainbow. Okay, that's good. Encourage your viewers to share your live and invite more friends. Yeah, if you think this is worth it, if you think it's valuable, if you think people need it, if you think it's timely, if you think it's helpful, then yeah. Invite people. 26 goes unassociated. Unassociated, yeah. Who you truly are is not associated with the drama you're acting out. This is your avatar form. With your avatar form comes an ego that has a psychological self, right? That is all part of the part you're playing. But who you truly are, the self, is unassociated. So it witnesses you flying high or whatever, but it makes no comment. It just witnesses. It's unassociated. If you have a beautiful thought, it doesn't get impressed. If you have a depressive thought, it doesn't get upset. It just witnesses. It is unassociated. That's you. That's your unassailable self that's free of the effect of any circumstance. And you need to find this place. And you can. And you will. You truly think a thing can be devoid of context? Yeah. Yeah. non-dual. This is what we're talking about, the non-dual. With a context, you've got a thing and the context it's in. But how about collapsing that and coming into the non-dual? Yeah. Just listen. Okay. Gorka, Jesus has power with the symbol of the flag. Jews has power with the symbol of the flag. That is the flag of Remphan. And it's not Jewish. It's been taken by Zionists. And but that shape of the hexagon pre-existed. It's a natural geometric expression of divine order. Like if you get a bowl of water, right, and a bass speaker, and turn the bass up, and aim it at the water will start vibrating. And if you get certain frequencies, you can vibrate all kinds of different shapes naturally. It's an expression, natural geometry. It's not the property of any religion, and it's not the property of any nation. And it carries no meaning that man has given it. That's a superimposition. That's not what it means. The earth is flat. Oh, are you one of those guys waiting to catch a ride on a comet with Nikes and a purple blanket? Yeah, not too far away from that. Not too far away from that. The earth is flat. Oh, yeah? Well, I was looking up because I got this picture, got so many people made comments about the earth is flat, right? So I was doing some research, and I was seeing all these experiments. There's one done where the Midnight Sun experiment, where they actually got to the Antarctica, where there should have been, if it was a flat earth reality, then what should have happened is that the sun should have risen, gone over the top and set. But they got there, climbed up the Great Wall, climbed in, this is in 2024, and unfortunately that wasn't the case. The sun stayed. It was there all day. And of course, when they reported this back to the community of flat earthers, they didn't want to believe it, so they didn't. Who is Sean Connery? Good question. And okay, object. Yeah. Hello, Tim. My name is Yesenia. Good, welcome. Myth of Anubis. Okay, the myth of Anubis. I tell you something. On the night of the dawning of the millennium 2000, I was in Egypt at the Great Pyramids, and Jean-Michel Jarre was playing. And there were all these tents with the big hotels and, fantastic celebration. And part of Jean-Michel's concert involved about 500 men wearing black suits, white shirts and black ties with Anubis masks on, all walking in single file across the desert toward the Sphinx. It was amazing sight. I'll never forget that sight. Emmett Latrot. Oh, my thoughts today. Okay. I feel heaven around me. The choice to live is heaven. Yeah. The choice to live in heaven. Yeah. Heaven within you. Heaven emanating from your core. 26. How are you so eloquent? I've never ever seen you hesitate or mumble or stutter or stammer. Never. Well, it happens. The thing is that when I do these, I want to just not even think about it. I want to tap in direct to my knowing. I don't want to be thinking. I don't want to be umming and ahhing. I want to be coming live. Not just live as in the TikTok live, but live and direct to you now. My signal, your signal, for real. Transmitting what is real and what is important. With feeling, with passion. It matters to me that you get this 26. Because I'm not making it up. I'm experiencing it. And it might help you. Virtually none. We are in the middle of a mass awakening. I see it all around me. Voxtur. Tuning in. Yes, Voxtur. We are in the middle of a mass awakening. Ain't that the truth? So get on the right side of things, everybody. Because this is where it really gets exciting. The awakening within each human being to the preciousness of life. Why can we slaughter each other? Why can we lie so brazenly to each other? Why can we burn and eat each other? Our children? Why? Because we have forgotten the preciousness and the magic and the divinity of a human life. We've forgotten. We're not feeling it. Nature reflects it, but we don't see it. All we hear is our inner chatter, mumbling on, rambling on. But the awakening is happening, and it's a fire, and it's a mighty fire. It starts as a spark, just one spark, and that's it. And then that sets something, and that sets something else, that sets something else, and it's exponential and glorious and of love. We've forgotten love. It's what we do best. We've forgotten kindness. It's what we do best. But it's happening, Voxter. You know that. Fel, I'm already glad I found you 5 minutes ago. Well, welcome, welcome. 26, your picture is so beautiful. What a goddess. That's Fel. Okay. Voxter. Cozy Garden. I woke up in a terrible state of mind, and after listening to you, I feel hopeful. Yeah, it can be like that. Like I've got this thing happening with me where when I sleep, I get acid reflux, right? Which is like, means you can't really sleep and you're restless. And, so when I wake up, I feel, but then as soon as I kind of wake up properly, have a shower, and then when I sit down to meditate, clear everything away. Get back to what doesn't change. The feeling of that timeless place within me. Everyone has that within them. We cannot continue to let our mind tell us how we're doing. It doesn't know. It makes it all up. Yabba, yabba, yabba. No knowledge there. The truth isn't here. Truth is here. And that's the journey out of your head into your heart. There's a lot to be hopeful for. There really is. And maybe you can feel it. It's all around. It's not circumstantially driven. It's coming out of the fact that you are alive. What does that mean? Cozy, what does it mean? You're alive. Never mind about what's happening or how much money you've got or who loves you or what's on the television or what's happening in other parts of the world. What does it mean you're alive? You are alive. Breathe into that. Breathe into that. Feel that life. Give that life a little bit of acknowledgement. Doesn't matter your thoughts. Who cares what you think? No one cares what you think. You don't even care what you think. Really. But what are you feeling? What's the root feeling? What place in you is unassailable to your mind and to this world? What is freedom? Thanks for liking my upload. Yeah, you're welcome, Pale Horse. You're welcome. What was it that? It was yeah, I went to your page. Nice. Honeybee, your name is similar to the Greek tameion, the inner room. When you pray, go into thy room. Oh, that's interesting. Thanks, Honeybee. Matthew 6, Matthew 6, 6. Okay, check that. Matthew. My favorite Matthew is Matthew 6:21. Let thine eye be single, and thy whole body should be full of light. Couldn't get much clearer or simpler than that. And yet now, that's from the King James Version, right? The one that I was brought up on, forced to read. And but now you look at so many new translations of the Bible. They even wanted to put a book of Trump in it, for goodness sake. Seriously. Because he's the Prince of Peace. Oh yeah, right. Don't even go there. But Matthew 6:21. So if you now look at some of the new versions, because the people who translated it had no idea what that was referring to, they make it mean something completely different. Oh yeah, encourage your viewers to share. Viewers, beloved viewers, if you're feeling this, then share it. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. You're most welcome. Knowledge is for sharing. There are some things that if you don't share them, they start rotting, like vegetables. If you don't share your food, it starts to rot. If you don't share your knowledge, your growth stops. That's what I think. If you don't share your love, you feel isolated and your love starts to contract, your heart starts to contract. It's for sharing. That's what we are. We're human beings. We're in the same resonating field. We are going to be sharing anyway. There's no other way than that we can do. That's how we are. We're in the same energy field. It may seem like the islands are separate, but you take away that water and it's one mass. And it's exactly the same with humanity. You may be there and I may be here, but actually we're in one field. The unified field. Love. Can you feel it? Can you feel the love? Whatever else you're good at doing or bad at doing, whatever the weather, can you feel the love? Go on, can you feel the love right now? It's not going anywhere or coming from anywhere or to anything or from anything. Can you feel the love? Can you feel the love? Hey, human, can you feel the love? Yeah, that's to be alive. It's the default feeling. Who would have thought that the best feeling is actually the default feeling? Natasha Combs, you are a very beautiful man. Thank you. Merkaba, Metatron, Metatron. Does it go to 11? Yeah. Male horse. Is there, pale horse, is the earth hollow? I haven't seen that one yet. Well, there's a lot of people say it is. But the point is this. My question to people who say is the earth flat, or now to people who say is it hollow, is this. And it sounds a bit radical, but in the end you'll warm to it. Is the earth actually existing? Is it a thing? Or is it an appearance? And what is the difference between something that actually is and what appears to be? Once you sort that question out, then whether it's hollow, flat, or anything else, we can look at maybe. A channel for the divine. You are, honeybee. Honeybee, you are a channel for the divine. You wouldn't be giving that out unless you were. And actually, you even know that. And your mission is to unfold that, unpack that for yourself, and do it now. Make it more than a hope. Make it a possibility that you're living into, that's showing measurable results for you. We need you now to be the channel for the divine. You give that to me. I give that to you. Both true. Make it so. Timotheus is confused. Timotheon, Lifanga. Timotheus is confused. Well, I don't know who he is, but I'm Timian. And probably am confused. I don't feel it though. Broken since woken. That's a good name. Of any life. Divinity, not quite sure what you mean by that. Jonathan Cage, Timian, I go through periods where it seems like I have no ideas, like zip, so I just listen. Now you're getting it. The best way to experience what is happening on this live is to sit without comment. Just sit without comment. Pay attention, focus, and roll with it. What's supposed to stick will stick. What is not supposed to stick will pass straight through. I don't even remember what I've said. Why should you? But be present. The speaking and the visuals are simply agents to keep your focus here in the present, in the now with me. And we generate a signal. This is not about ideas. It may seem like it, but it really isn't. It's about direct cognition of the reality of this now that you're in, that I'm in, and opening that up experientially, ontologically, getting it as experience beyond the field of concepts. Because in the end, the concepts just confuse us. They lift us up one day, bring us down the next. But there's a knowing beyond that. But I really want to have ideas as well. Now, the thing is this. I want them to flow through me. Yeah. First, you've got to be a space where the stream of relevant consciousness can come. By getting out of your head. By coming into that place of listening. That will take you back to the place, to your signal, just by listening. The act of listening brings you, without commentary, the act of listening without commentary brings you to your signal. As you go up and open out, then you get better ideas. Then there's a stream of consciousness. If you want to, it's there. If you ask, it's given. So it's about focus. It's about being, if you say, I just want it, and you don't really want it, but you kind of would like to want it or want it, that's not the kind of place you need to be coming from. Feel a thirst for knowing. And that thirst for knowing comes from recognizing that it is possible. It is possible for you to know, to be in a stream of revelation, to be in a stream of insight, to be talking and thinking directly from that place instead of from your head. Get the possibility first, and then it starts to open up for you. Yabba dabba doo, knucklehead, says Polycarp. Yabba dabba doo, knucklehead. That was just the Flintstones, wasn't it? Yabba dabba doo. I love them. Jonathan Cage, that was odd. I had to write my last comment as it was instantly deleted. What the hell? I don't know what's happening. Mercury retrograde, to put it that way. Polycarp, dummies on TikTok will listen to anything. Well, you are, Polycarp. You are. Does that include you? Dummies on TikTok actually won't listen to anything. They tend to choose things that resonate with their dumminess. I think that's more true. Kathmandu Feline, holy shit, I thought you were Tommy Chong. Who's Tommy Chong? Can't wait for the apocalypse, says Alpha Omega Hex. Yeah, you see, that's where they've got you. You can't wait for something there then in the future to happen. It'll all be great when the apocalypse happens. But what Jesus said was, he said, don't, if they tell you it's there then, that your heaven is going to happen there then, don't go there. Don't believe them. He said, the kingdom of heaven is within you now. Within you now. And your job is to find out in what domain is it within you. And it may be a domain that you haven't felt yet. Or maybe you have. But that's what you need to be looking for, not waiting for the apocalypse. Because what you've got to remember, although it does look pretty likely, more likely than in the past, but people every 60 years, going back 2,000 years, have been saying, oh no, it's coming right about now. Oh yeah, something. They already built the third temple. They don't tell you that, do they? That all that prophecy already happened. Nothing came from it. It wasn't an apocalypse. The subconscious death urge of humanity, the collective subconscious death urge, is what's creating our fascination with the apocalypse and what is being used by dark forces to put us into a spell where we think that our existential dissatisfaction will be dispelled when all-out war happens. And that's when the good thing happens. Well, if you believe that, then you're a sucker. Because the good thing's happening right now. Can't you feel it? Have you been hijacked by your head so much that you can't feel the love? Just take a breath for a moment, feel the love that's all around. The default feeling of being a human being, the feeling which has got nothing to do with the dramas, your life feeling. Feel the love. It's now. You've been tricked, mate. Jonathan Cage. Anyway, thank you for your presence in my life. You're welcome. Thank you for listening and never losing patience. Wow, that's a nice thing to say. Nikki, breathe for this moment. You remind me of the simplicity and complexity of being alive. Thank you. Yeah, so beautiful. Don't forget, your breath is everything. If you take it for granted, you don't even know it's there. If you give it a little bit of attention, you realize, oh yeah, it's quite important. But you give more attention and you think, oh, it's prana, it's life force. But give it proper attention and it is love. It's your connection to the field of love, the highest truth. Your breath. If you follow your breath to its source, you'll find the divine within you. The divine. Something that is not designated as sacred, but that emanates what is sacred. In the absence, we know sacred is a thing, right? But in the absence of having actually felt it, we start designating things extraordinary things sometimes, as sacred. Stones, buildings, places, people. But those are not the true sacred. There are designated sacreds. And I'm not saying you shouldn't do that if you want to, fine. But don't forget that there is the true sacred, and that is found by following your beautiful breath back to its source within you. And that's happening. That possibility is available to you actually every single moment that you have this configuration of being, this body, these bodies, this heart. Milkmint 124. You call yourself religious. You think you're anybody special. If you were, you would see that. You call yourself religious. Well, I don't. I simply don't, Milkmate. Mike Mint. Sorry, Mike Mint 124. I don't. I'm not into religion. I use religious terms. If someone asks a question in a Christian context, hopefully I'll address it in that context. If someone asks in a Muslim or Buddhist way, or Hindu way, or an agnostic way, or an atheist way, I'm none of that. That's not who I am. That's not who you are. Someone who practices Christianity, it wouldn't be true to say the answer to the question is who are you, is I am a Christian. No, that's your religion. I'm not religious. I'm not a believer. There's something beyond believing, isn't there? Isn't there? You talking to me, we communicating now, you don't have to believe it. It's not coming from the fact you believe it. It's coming from the fact that you're experiencing it. Isn't it? So that belief is now, we don't need it because the experience is direct. And so with life. So I'm not religious. You think you're anybody special. Well, I think you do. I mean, I do. We all do. We all think we're a little bit special, don't we? Sometimes on here you get people expressing their specialness, like declaring they've got divine powers, or they're emissaries of divine and they've got special this and that. But people think they're special. And it's a psychological trick, this thing, I'm special, which pretty much everybody has a special in them somewhere. Some people are very overt about it. Some people are covert about it. But pretty much everybody has this idea of being special in some way. And what it does is, it's a psychological trick, because also what everybody's got is the feeling that they're not quite good enough. There's something wrong with them. They haven't got all the software. It's my mum's fault. Or, it was my trauma. Something not quite right with me. And they balance that out with their special. And so keep this illusory sense of self in balance between special and not good enough. But what you're identifying as special, that is actually a truth about you and your soul nature. But you've stolen it and used it to balance a little bit of in the psychological world. It's not meant for that. And by using it in that way, you're only going to get like a tiny amount of its power and its true possibility. But when you become the self, then you'll find that what you thought was special about you actually is something far more wonderful than you'd realized. And that you do have gifts, but are not in the place to receive them, maybe. So you call yourself religious? No, I don't. You think you're anybody special? Probably do. You would see that. Okay. Pale Horse. The best English language Bible, it was translated by real scholars. Yeah, but you see, thing with scholars, Pale Horse, is that they're not the same as seers, people who have seen. Like a scholar who had not recognized that he had a third eye would not know what to make of the instruction, let thine eye be single. He would then interpret that from his own experience. And even if he exactly translated the language, unless he'd had that experience, he wouldn't be able to transmit it possibly. So the people that should be translating it should have knowledge not just of language, but of the subject matter that they're looking at. Gabriel, a messenger. Jesus Christ is Lord of Lords, King of Kings, God of Gods. Next. Okay, thanks for that. Trump is God's servant. Mike Mint. I saw this thing the other day, 2 or 3 days ago, where all these Zionists, were standing with Trump in front of a great big picture. I think it was a picture they were giving him. But what the camera focused in on the thing that was written under the picture. And it described Trump as the Prince of Peace, with a biblical reference. That is how far, how ignorant, how blind we have become. That we think that a man like Trump could be the Prince of Peace. So little imagination. Even if Trump had brought peace to 8 nations, for real, rather than pretending, he still wouldn't be the Prince of Peace. Because the peace that has a prince is not the opposite of war. There's another peace which has a prince, which is peace that passes all understanding. The peace that is the fragrance of the divine. Quite different. And Trump, I feel fairly certain, has not felt that, does not know of that. And the people who called him Prince of Peace, either they're trying to deceive him by flattering him and do know about it, or they themselves also don't know of the peace that is not the opposite of war. It's something else. It's what life feels like when you shut up. Jonathan Cage, I am learning to live more from my heart. Yeah, it's a journey, but each step gets better and better. And then you can feel it and you realize your heart fans it. Your breathing, fans your heart. The flame in your heart is fanned by your breath when you breathe consciously. I love this. Thank you, Phil. Honeybee. When an eye be single, the Greek for eye is ophthalmos, meaning the mind's eye. Exactly. Oh my God, do you have any idea what you're talking about, Mike Mint? Well, do I have any idea? Do you have any idea what I'm talking about? Because do I sound confused? You sound confused, which leads me to believe that you don't have any idea what I'm talking about here. That peace, that possibility, what a human being really is. So I think it may be that you don't have any idea what I'm talking about. The antidote to not having any idea what I'm talking about is just to listen. You don't have to respond. You don't have to be clever. You don't have to be hateful. You can just listen. And you might pick up something. I don't know. Maybe you would, maybe you wouldn't. Trump is my servant. He's a pro wrestler playing Nero, says Alpha Omega Hex. I can go for that. If he's your servant, get him under manners, sharpish, manny. In Matthew 6, he's talking about your pineal gland. That's how it reflects inorganic matter in your brain, but it's more beautiful than that. And actually, what science is now proving is that consciousness is not produced in the brain. So the pineal gland is a part of that. It's how it reflects in a more material way. But there's great wonders. It's not this seeing eye, the all-seeing eye within you sees everything on all worlds. No, it is the one thing that sees the difference between what is real and what appears to be real. And that needs to be activated. And that needs to be developed and acknowledged. It's an incredible part of being human. Perhaps one of the most amazing things about being human is that you have this eye. And that's what the big shift that's coming will include people recognizing their heart and people recognizing this eye. Manny, do you ever have ringing in your ears? Yeah, most of the time, Manny. Most of the time. That's the silent seeing. Think about this, right? Think about this. That sound is not coming from the past. How could it? And that sound is not coming from the future. How could it? Future's not even there. So where's it coming from? It's the sound of now. And if you don't resist it, but focus on it, it'll bring you right home. I'm not the first one to say that. One time I saw Billy Connolly, right, on TV. And he was going, I've got this, he's Scots, isn't he? He's saying, I've got this ringing in my ears. Oh, and he was going to see a doctor and all of this. And then by chance, I stood in a queue behind him in an airport in Los Angeles after I'd seen him say that. And I was going to mention something, but I didn't. And then I was back in England and I was an extra on a film set, which he was in. And I'd also seen him one other time. I can't remember how that happened, but I remember it was 3 times I saw him. And the third time I thought, well, this is so unusual. I must go and talk to him. So I went up to him and said, you know what you experienced when you were on the Antarctic, out there on the ice? He said, you heard this sound. I said, that isn't an indication that something's wrong. Let go to that sound. Become comfortable with that sound, and it will show you something amazing. And I don't know if he really took it on board. Whoops. I don't know if he really took it on board or not. But yeah, don't worry about it. People, oh no, I've got to do something. No, just let it be. It's the sound of now. Where have you got to? The stream of insight I've experienced. It's sheer bliss, but it comes and goes. Yeah. Do you have, yeah, we've done that. And find myself chasing it or just wanting it, which is mostly futile. Yeah, let's just do what it takes to get it. Be still. Pale Horse. The same people that want a zombie apocalypse can't deal with a spider in the bar. You don't know I've come up with them, Pale Horse. That's absolutely spot on. The same people that want a zombie apocalypse can't deal with a spider in the bath. Got that right. I'm so happy I found you again. Mopasser, so likewise. Wigan Wizard. Is this insight from 50 years of meditation? Plant medicine gives me similar themes you speak. Insight's insight, right? I've also done plant medicine. But when I say what's my perspective, that's the catchphrase, you know? I wouldn't take it too seriously. I have done meditation for over 50 years every day. And so it's like an interesting catch. It's a hook. Let's not get too literal about it because it's my life experience. It's not just the meditation, it's the whole thing of how I meditated, what the insights I got, how I've applied it, all the mistakes I've made, all the foolishness that I've done, all the ego that I've projected, all the people that I've hurt, all of that. And from that, insights, understanding. Now I'm in the last chapters, and so it's in review, and I want to share it. I needed this today. You are welcome. Good. Oh, just wisdom from years of life of reflection. They call Obama the hope of the world. That wasn't true either. No. Mike Mint, get a grip, please, says Jonathan Cage. Tim, Paul calls Trump the, yeah, okay. President, not manager. What's the best way to activate it? Well, the best way to act, there are techniques to activate your third eye. But in order to get the best from it, you have to approach it in the right way. It's not a curiosity thing. It's part of a whole revelation. It's quite simple to open it. What is the eye capable? The eye sees in all worlds what is. That's my experience of it. Sees light, sees the domain which holds space. It can generate black holes between your eyes. You can project it out as a beam. Incredible, incredible. What do you think of psychosis? Well, it came, it peaks, it will pass. It is a weather. We were talking to 26 earlier, who's not having an easy time at the moment mentally. And what we were saying at the beginning of this was that a psychosis, I like to sort of say before I say this, is that I am not qualified. This is just my insight. It's not like I'm qualified, and shouldn't anything I say on this level shouldn't be taken as medical anything. It's just my insight. But that having been said, psychosis is bad weather on the mental level. Where does that bad weather unfold? In the sky of your unchanging awareness. Recognize awareness and objectify the psychosis. And you will find a place within you that no matter what the weather, it doesn't change. No matter what passes through the sky never changes. Isn't that so? The content of the sky and the sky are distinct from each other. The content of your mind and that which is aware of it are distinct from each other. The true you is the witness of your psychosis. And is untouched by it. Now, who are you pretending to be? I'm pretending to be Timian, definitely. Can we finish on doing meditation, or is there not enough time? Okay, we can do, let's just see if we've done all the questions. You're not an expert. Why must you never listen? No favour. Sigma Mungan. Okay, well, that's nice. Yeah, let's just do a quick meditation then. So this is only going to take a few minutes. So put everything down that can be put down and gain control of yourself by choosing just to focus into my eyes without blinking. And we will open a moment and drop into the real. Open a moment by focusing and not blinking and not thinking. And drop into the real. When you drop into the real, you'll feel your breath gently release. You might sigh very subtly. And as you maintain your focus, start feeling presence, energy, life. And you arrive now, here, coming out of your mind, coming out of the past, coming out of the future, coming into now, focusing, relaxed, gently breathing. Put aside everything, nothing to think about. Can't do it wrong, can't do it right. Let everything be. Let yourself be. Let yourself be. Let yourself be. Let everything be. Let your breath gently be there, interfacing with the field. In this place, which is always there, you are whole, you are complete. There's nothing wrong with you. You are unchanging awareness. Be a clear space. No one's there. No one needs to be there. You don't need to talk to yourself the whole time. Be still. Focus. And know that all is well. However it seems, all is well. This is your home, here within you. See you at 6 p.m. Beloveds, thank you so much.
Stay close to your heart, my love. Breathe, restore, and return to this now again and again.
See you at 6 p.m.